I think he knows. Yeah, we should put it open, right? Oh, the text, yeah, perfect.
How about yours?
What?
Everybody's
Plugged
good.
in?
Yeah.
I guess it is. Oh, I don't know.
I'm just gonna take a
So it's okay? I can.
just give you the worksheet.
I have a Mac.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
All right. Small programs. Microsoft. Excel.
Do you want everybody to just start with the Excel? No.
Can I hand out the presentation?
Sure.
So this is the presentation, in case if anyone want to follow based on the presentation. Everyone gonna get a copy of this?
Okay, thank you.
So our workshop today is going to be based on Microsoft Excel 2010 version. And today we're supposed to cover the following objectives. So we're going to talk about overview about Microsoft Excel and what is the different, what the functions and different tabs in Excel. Also we're going to define some terms like spreadsheet and worksheet. And we're going to talk about how to wrap text and how to wrap numbers and text inside the cell. Also, we're going to talk about deleting duplicates, deleting, inserting columns and rows. And we're going to talk about freezing bands and what the benefit we get from this freezing band thing. And also, we're going to talk about some function and auto sum, and we're going to know how to sum numbers. Also, we're going to explain how to insert tables and how to design the tables. And we're gonna talk about sorting and filtering data inside the tables. And also we're gonna have some discussion about printing, select cells and enter data in worksheets, edit and replace data in cells, zoom, preview and print a worksheet, and eventually we're gonna know how to close a worksheet and save it. So let's talk about some spreadsheet, the introduction, like Microsoft Excel 2010 is basically an electronic spreadsheet program which is being designed by Microsoft. So they started manufacturing this program back in 1987, and they started with version 2. So basically this is a little bit of history about Microsoft Excel. Second version they had is version 3, which has been designed in 1990. And in 1992 they came up with version 4. In 93 they came up with version 5. And then version 95. In 1995 they came up with version 7. And version 8 was in 1997. In year 2000 they came up with version 9. And then version 2002. They call it like it's been commonly known as version 2002, but technically it's version 10. And 2002 is referring to the years that the software has been developed at, right? In 2003, they came up with version 11. In 2007, they came up with version 12. In 2010, they came up with version 14, which is a version we're gonna have this workshop based on. And in 2013, they have version 15. But as I have said, like, it's commonly known as version 2013, version 2010, version 2007, and so on, right?
But at the beginning it was called Excel 2, 3,
Excel 2,
4.
3, 4, 5.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's back to, started from 87 here, 1987. Okay?
Yeah.
So a spreadsheet basically is a grid of rows and columns that allows you to enter text and numbers and also allows you to store result of calculation. The spreadsheet is called worksheet, and the Excel file itself is called workbook. In Excel 2010, the maximum size of worksheet is 1,048,576 rows and 16,384 columns. This is the maximum that the worksheet can have. Also in Excel 2010, the number of worksheet is limited. You cannot limit it by numbers. Like, we can't say we have maximum of 100,000, let's say, worksheet, but it's limited by the memory size you have on the computer. So whoever has like 2 gig of RAM is different from the people who has like 4 gig of RAM. So as much RAM you have, or as much memory you have, as much worksheet you can get. So now we're gonna start the Excel, and I think everyone already fired up Excel. Is there anyone doesn't know how can you reach or how can you launch Excel?
Just opening the document would be enough?
Oh yeah, like if you go to Start menu, and then
Oh,
you
but
can,
I'm just opening the, so
okay,
we will open, yeah?
okay, yeah, that's fine too. You can open the software itself from the Start menu, or you can double click on the Excel file and eventually it's gonna open the software itself, right? We're gonna see in the next slide the basic part of the program interface. So it's going to have title bar, quick access toolbar, ribbon, backstage view, all of these standard things we are seeing on all the software. You're gonna see it in the next slide. So here we have the main screen or main interface of the Excel. So if anyone, I think, opened Excel already. So in the up left corner there, we have quick access toolbar. If we can go by, you can also go by mouse and check this toolbar. And if you don't have it, let me know, I can display it. Also, we have this thing here, we call it ribbon. And this ribbon contains all the functions for the tabs. So basically, these are the tabs: home, insert, page layout, formulas. These are tabs. Under each tab, there is a ribbon that contains all the function belongs to each tab. Also, we have here name box that's gonna show us the address of the selected cell or of the active cell. The active cell basically, which is the cell we are focusing on, or we are the cursor that sits on. Formula bar here. This is the bar that we're gonna type in any kind of calculation or formulas. Rows number. So the spreadsheet basically contains of rows and columns. Every row is represented by number and every column represented by letter. So from this bar we're gonna see all the row numbers, and in there we're gonna see the column letter, which is defining the column, which column we are on. All of these grid called work area. Also down there we have the sheet tab, which by default when we open a new Excel file, we're gonna come up with 3 sheets. This is the default, and from there you can create your own. And by pressing on this icon, this is how you add new sheets. Also down there we have status bar, which is called ready. So if you are on any different status, it can be mentioned over there in the status bar. Up there we have sizing buttons. So by using this button, we can resize the screen, or we can minimize it, or even we can close the software. Down there we have the help button in case we need to look up for any function or anything you don't know how to reach. You can always press this button, and then a help screen can show up, and from there you can look up for anything you want. Title bar, which basically at the very top over there. This is gonna mention the software name, and also gonna mention the file name. Scroll bar. This is a bar we are using to scroll either up or down. View buttons. This is to change the view of the grid. And next hour we're gonna practice how to use all these functions. Zoom control. This is to zoom in and out the file itself. In case you need to see the numbers more clear or something, you always can zoom in. Any question in terms of the interface of the program?
Access to is it pointing to the office button?
Is it what, sorry?
Pointing to the office button there.
It's pointing to the logo of the software.
Pardon?
The logo of the software up there.
It's not. This one. Is it pointing to this?
Okay, just a second. I know why is that, probably. This is 2007.
Yes, please.
Probably this interface for pretty much old version. That's why it doesn't show up this way. But the icon, this icon, what you're supposed to see in version 2007 and 2010.
So it's not showing here now.
This one shown here, right?
That's what I was referring
But
to.
that's not shown on the
It will
slide.
be the Excel,
That's what
sorry,
I
the
was referring
office.
to as
Yeah, the office circuit
Office.
there. So.
That's what I was referring to. Thank you.
So as we said, each worksheet contains each workbook contains three worksheets by default, and the worksheet displayed in the work area in the active worksheet. Columns appear vertically and are identified by letters. Rows appear horizontally and they are identified by numbers. A cell is intersection of a row and a column. So if we go back to the slide, if we go back to the interface, each one of these is called cell. So the cell in the worksheet in which you can type data is called active cell. As we said, like once you focus in a cell, we call it active cell. The name box that shows and the reference area display the cell reference of the active cell. Formula bar display a formula when a worksheet cell contains a calculated value. Formula is an equation that calculates a new value from the value currently in the worksheet. So wrapping function or wrapping text is basically whenever you enter some long text, it's going to be shown like this. So from here you can figure out which cell exactly contains the sentence. So in order to wrap up this statement and fit it into one cell, we are using this wrapping function. And this wrapping function, I'll switch over to this Excel itself so I can show you how to do it. So as you see here, the sentence is taking more than one cell. So to wrap it up and just display it in one cell, we we have to right click on it and then go for match cells, alignment, and wrap text. By doing this function, you basically wrap up all the statement and you show it in one cell, not in 2 or 3 cells. So you might have very long text, but you don't want to show it in more than one cell, you just want to show it in just one cell. That's why we have to use the wrapping function.
Is it okay if we try to do it?
Well, you can try to do it now, or you can wait until we finish with the presentation, and then you're gonna go through all the function again yourself. So, yeah.
Is that the only place we can find the wrap cell, wrap text?
We can reach from other place. Personally, I use this way, but usually you can find it in the menu for sure. There is a place.
So can you go right in?
If you're using the new version,
Can you see
it's
this
right in the
one?
middle.
So in the home tab here, this is the icon that you can reach the wrapping function from. So either by using the right click menu or by using the tabs up there. Can you see it? See here. Yeah. All right so far? So, some people doing big tables and they do have a lot of information in the sheet, and eventually they have like some duplicates in the data and they want to get rid of these duplicates. So if you went through every single row to find the duplicates and delete it, you might stay forever doing that. But Excel here helps us with a function called delete or remove duplicates, which is quite helpful to get rid of the old duplicates you have in the sheet. And the way how to use this function basically is to go to Data tab, and then it is the remove duplicates function. But before that, basically you have to select all the area that you want to look for the duplicates in. And after selecting the area, click on remove duplicates, and then we're gonna come up with like kind of confirmation message that's gonna show you all the selected column. So by this way, Excel confirming that this is a column you want to look for duplicate. And then once you hit OK, you're gonna get rid of the whole duplicate. And basically once you click OK, it's not gonna delete the duplicate, it's going to hide them first. And after hiding them, to save the changes, you have to press save. Once you save the changes, then the Excel will delete all the duplicates. So let me show you here how to use it. I have a little sample here that I want to find all duplicates in this column. So basically I'm gonna select the column. So if you notice down there, there is count of the numbers I just selected. So we have like 61 cells I have selected here, right? I'm just telling you that so you would notice the difference between before removing the duplicates and after. So before removing the duplicates, we have 61 cells. By going to Data tab here, and then this on remove duplicates. So here Excel asks is it the only column which called the total you wanted to check the duplicates at? I say yes by clicking OK. And then we're gonna come up with a message saying 35 duplicates values found and removed, 26 unique values remain. So all the duplicates have been hidden, and all the shown numbers, which is unique numbers. If you notice down there, after pressing OK, you're gonna notice that the count has been reduced to 26 because all the duplicates have been taken away. For example, if we remember that for some reason we did something wrong and we want to go back and undo this action because maybe this is not the number we have to look for, we can also always click control that, which we're gonna do kind of undo action. So it's gonna cancel all what we have done. And eventually gonna show up all the numbers here. So here we get back to 61 by undoing the action. So is there any question for the duplicates function? Remove duplicates? Excuse me? Oh, because we have to go to data tab? Yeah, and then here you go, remove duplicates.
Okay, what about if I click, like, if I want to undo the right text?
If you want to do that text,
Let's say I have.
okay, select the cell you want to do the wrapping with, and then press on Home tab, and then click on wrapping button. Wrap text button, that's right. But now it's unwrap it because previously you already wrapped it.
Does it have undo?
No, it's not undo. It's enable, like kind of enabling and disabling. You enable the wrapping function and then you disable it, so it go back to the original form. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions so far? So here we're gonna go through some manipulation for the columns and rows, and we're gonna know how to delete columns and rows. So basically to delete cell or to delete row, we have to select it and then go to home and then use, basically we have to start with inserting first, sorry. So we're gonna insert, and to insert, let me show you practically how you're gonna insert. So after row 43 here, we're gonna insert a row. So we have to go to take home and then insert. And from there, we have to choose insert cell. There is another way to do insertion, which is right click, insert. I'm gonna do the same thing. How about if we selected just one cell and we right click insert? We're gonna give us more options like table, column, and to the left or to the right. Because here, let me show you insert. So if we choose insert table column to the left, it's gonna add one more column to the left side. And if we did insert table row above, we're gonna add new row above the selected row. Same thing for deletion. We have to go to the row or the cell we need to delete, and we're gonna select it and then right click on it, delete this, because let me show you in here. So delete, we're gonna ask what you want to delete. So if we said like shift cell up, we're gonna delete it and gonna shift all the following numbers up. But if we go to delete, and we choose, for example, entire row, so we're gonna delete all the entire row, but it's better to do it in a file that have many rows. So if we set entire row, it's gonna get rid of the entire row I'm selecting now. Also, there's another option which is cells left. I'm gonna delete the selected formula and shift all the remaining row to the left direction. If we go delete entire column, so we're gonna get rid all of the whole column. Is that clear, or is there any question? So freezing band function, this is basically helps us if we have a table and this table has a header in the top. It helps us to lock this header and to make it visible even if we scroll down through the sheet. So let me show you here. For example, this one is not. Let me unfreeze it first so I can show you the differences. So if I have regular sheet and it's not freeze, if I scroll down, then the header is gone, right? And eventually you might forget what this number for and what this number for and what this number for because the header is not shown. So how about if we want to lock the header and make it visible even if we scroll down to the sheet? So by then we have to use the freezing, which locks all the header and make it visible even if you scroll down. So by selecting the header and then press on View tab and then press on Freeze Band button here. If we selected freeze top row, it's gonna only freeze the selected row. So if you scroll down, now you locked the header and it kept it shown even if you scroll down. So by the end of the table, you still can distinguish what's this number for and what the other number for, right? Also, there's another option for freezing, which is freezing band instead of freezing a row. So if we just select any cell in the header and we said like freeze band, can you see this line?
Yeah.
So all this area has been freezed. So whenever we scroll down, all the freezing area is gonna be locked and it's not gonna be hidden. Is that clear?
But you have to select that area first.
You have to select just any cell in the top and then go to View, Freeze Pan, and then Freeze Pans. So freeze pans, it freezes like a pan or number of columns, not just one, a number of rows, not just one row, or not just as a header. What's that?
All the ones you have selected.
All the rows?
That you have
Actually, we didn't select a specific rows, we just select a cell. And after that, we selected freeze band. But by default, freeze band, let's say that it looks the first 12 rows, and then it free up everything. From the other side, on the right side too, it freezes column A through D. So when you scroll right, you still can keep column A through D shown.
That means that if we are working in an area, a specific area, and we have to go out and we can come back easily, or we can, for example, use another part of the sheet and use the sheet and having this part freeze. What's really
Usually we don't use a freezing function to freeze some columns inside or in the middle of the sheet. Usually we're using it to freeze either the first column or the first row, because this area which contains the header. So it makes sense to freeze the header, to keep all the header logged, and you can know what this number or what this information for. So header is usually either in the top or in the first column. Here is another freezing function or option, like freeze first column here. So it can look, as you see here, this line, it means the whole column has been freezed. So whenever we scroll to the right, this column gonna be logged. So is there any question for the freezing function? You said yes, there is a question? What question? Oh, you did, okay.
And if I want to get out from the freezing,
You
function,
also, yeah, always you can always unfreeze it by going to the same area, view, freeze bands, and first option called unfreeze. But unfreeze wouldn't be shown unless you have a freeze column or row, right?
Yeah. That's great.
So one of the good functions that Excel provides us here is to do auto sum, or generally the sum function, which is being reached through the formulas tab and then the sum button here. So let me show you how to sum specific numbers. So we go back to this sheet, and then let's say we need to sum all this column. So either by selecting the numbers in the column here, and then go to formulas, and then go to sum. So Excel going to put the result when you use a sum function, Excel puts the result at the end of the column. So let's say we need to sum all this column, so we're gonna select it and then press on auto sum. So I'm gonna put the result of the sum function last cell of the column, or we can go to the last cell and just select the auto sum function. So in here, Excel expect what we need to sum. So it's gonna highlight the whole column for us, but we still have a chance to change the number we need. So by going to the corner of this highlighting, and then we can change to the number we're looking for. So now I reduced it to certain